Hello and welcome to another Writerly Witterings. My name's Michael Jex and this is the second in my series of videos for students starting out at university. However, the same principles apply no matter what you're writing. So if you're an aspiring novelist, if you're trying to get on in business and you've got to write a report, if you're a consumer trying to get a refund, it doesn't really matter. The same principles will apply. Today I'm talking about this. Don't worry, I will be providing a PDF of this later. This is a method of planning and analysing essays or any other writing so that you can see basically whether the flow is right, whether it's going to work. In the first video I spoke about how to start writing an essay. I said that first you should consider the question, think about it and write the conclusion before you do anything else, research or anything. Once you've written a conclusion, that will give you a bit more focus. It'll give you the direction you can move in when you go to the library to try to do your research. Find the sources, make sure you reference the sources, and it may well be that you find there is no evidence to support your conclusion, in which case you've got to rewrite the conclusion. But you've got over that initial hump of trying to figure out what you should write about. It's got you starting to think about doing the research and doing the writing. So writing the conclusion, even if you have to ditch it, is a very good start point. Now, I'm an author. I've written some 45 novels and I've collaborated on another 10. But I was actually trained as a mathematician. So I like analysing in the same way that I'd analyse an algebraic equation. So let's just start. You begin to write. You've got an essay of 1,500 words to write. You've got to write an introduction and a conclusion. They both have to take up about 10%, so 150 words for each. That's 300 words gone from your 1,500 already. So you've got 1,200 words left to play with. Let's say that having done your research, you've found 8 main points that you need to create a logical flow through your essay. 8 points means 8 paragraphs. You should normally have 1 paragraph per point, and then you can develop your theme within each paragraph. So if you've got 8 into 1,200 means you've got 150 words per paragraph that you should use. You should try to keep the essay balanced as far as you can. It's not absolutely vital. You can have longer paragraphs, but ideally you want to keep the flow generally about the same with the progression of the essay. So you have your start point after the introduction. That leads to a statement. Then you use references, quotations or other forms of validation to try to develop your theme. This development leads to another step, and so on with link after link, moving you down through the paragraphs, taking your thoughts logically towards a conclusion. And it's the logic that's important. What your tutors and lecturers are trying to find out is how your mind works and whether you can develop a good coherent argument in an essay. So what they're looking for is to know what's going on up here, and that's not very easy. The only way they can assess what's going on up here is by getting you to write down your thoughts in a logical sequence. So the logic is absolutely vital because that shows to the lecturer, the tutor, how you can actually think about it. So once you've written out your essay, before you hand it in, you need to try to analyse it and make sure that it covers all the points you need. It's very easy to get stuck into an essay and get utterly bemused by your own brilliance as you're typing, so that you whack through the essay, you get straight to the end and you think that was wonderful. When you look at it again you realise you didn't answer the question at all, you went along a completely different track. Very easily done. So this is designed to help you. It's designed to keep you on track, and if you've gone off track you can hopefully at the end of using this see where you went wrong and you can rectify it before you hand in your essay. So let's get on to it. So you've written your essay. Now you've written it, get a sheet of paper and summarise in one short sentence what each paragraph is saying. On this sheet, that's the column with A and B through to H. Each of them stands for a different proposition or concept that you're introducing. Now, at this stage, please be ruthless and be honest with yourself. Is this really what your paragraph is saying? Read through it carefully, read it aloud, and see if you understand the direction that the paragraph's taking you in. In the second column, make a note of all the evidence and list it down. And in the third, note where each source came from to give you that evidence. The point of all this is to give you a quick and easy reference to see how your argument's developing through your essay. The first thing you'll notice is that you can see if there's any sort of lack of balance. Ideally, you'll have an equal number of sources and references. Here, as you can see, you seem to have multiple sources in one paragraph, like in paragraph 3 and paragraph 6. That means that you have a really unbalanced argument. Perhaps you need to consider removing some of the references at 3. There is no point in overemphasizing, overstressing a specific piece of evidence or a particular point of your argument. 1, maybe 2 references should be enough. So, for example, could you shift any 1 or 2 of 3, 4, 5 or 6 to support points A, B, or even better, D or E? If you can move them around so you've got 2 references, for example, per point, that is far better than having 4 for 1 and 1 for all the rest. E needs to be changed anyway, because as you can see, there's no support for it whatsoever. Perhaps you had the reference, perhaps you wrote the essay thinking that you had the reference to hand, you didn't, and then you forgot to add the reference. It might be you can't find that reference again. If that's the case, you need to get rid of it and find something different you can use. It has to be fixed. You can't leave something without a reference to validate it. There are also other areas to look at. If you look at the first column here, you'll see that I put in arrows to show how the paragraphs are developing. Each of them should lead on logically, A to B, B to C, C to D, etc. But there are 2 problems. First, having read through my paragraphs, I notice C does not logically lead to D. In fact, D leads logically to C, reversing those 2 paragraphs. Luckily, of course, we're fortunate to have copy and paste, so we can just shift them around. There will be some little writing to adjust the position of these 2 paragraphs, but if you move them around it will make life an awful lot easier. The second point is that E doesn't lead to F. There's a complete break in the logical flow there. However, I've discovered from looking that I could use E+. Slightly different, it's almost the same comment, but the difference is it can be validated and confirmed. So I will need to ditch E in favour of E+, so long as I can find a source and quotation that works. You may find it slightly confusing at first, but it's worthwhile. I've put a link to a PDF at the bottom of this page. Give it a try. Print it out, keep a copy right in front of you, because it will help focus your mind while you're writing, as well as giving you a means of analysing when you finish writing. I'll give one example. There was a student at Exeter when I was there who was absolutely distraught when she came to see me because she was getting C's and D's. At school she'd always got very good marks for her essays, but she didn't seem to be able to achieve that at university. When she came to me, I went through this. There was a couple of other tweaks I gave her as well, and the next essay she wrote, she got an A. So it does work. It's worthwhile trying to soldier on with it. If you like this approach, as I say, take a copy of the form and keep it pinned in front of your desk. It will keep you focused. There's a PDF on my blog. I'll put a link through at the bottom of this. Do please contact me if you've got any problems with it. I'm more than happy to answer questions in the comments section. If you want, I'll put my email address down the bottom as well. You can contact me privately if you wish. Any problems that you've got with specific essays, if you send me a copy of it, I'll be happy to look through it and give you pointers as to how you might be able to improve it. No charge for this, it's just if I've got time, I'll do it for you. In the meantime, I hope it was useful. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up with that thing. If you've got questions, if you've got comments, if you've got ideas for other things that you find difficult and you'd like me to have a look at in a separate video, put it in the comments section. If you think it was worthwhile, please share this. Tell your friends at university, tell them guys at the union. Apart from that, I think that's about my lot. So best of luck and see you soon. Take care. Cheers.